What's going on YouTube? It's me, National Gamer 11, and today I'm gonna bring you the Destiny 2 review. My review of Destiny 2. Today IGN, GameSpot, Angry Joe, and some other reviewers already gave their opinions about it, and I looked at their videos to see their valid opinions and all that stuff, and I finally came to the conclusion of what I'm gonna give the score for the game and what do I think about it personally, if I can recommend it to you guys or not. So let's just get it right through it. I hope you like it. I hope you smash up the thumbs button if you do subscribe for more Destiny 2, because literally I love this game and I really want to review it since I've been crazy to do this review already, and finally I get to do it. So let's get it going with. Alright, so let's start with the story. The story is basically the Cabal came out of nowhere and just blasted our tower. If you guys play Destiny 1, you guys know the tower and everything. Basically the Cabal came and blasted our tower, which then a big old ship that has like a crane, something like that. Something, I really don't know what it is. It seems like a crane, but it might be something else. I don't know. Well, basically, that thing attached to the Traveler, and then your character that you create, comes back from a mission to discover that the tower has been destroyed and everything, and then we start fighting back. But then the Cabal literally took out the light from the Traveler, took out our light, and basically left us for dead. And that's how Destiny 2 kicks off. This story is, I'm gonna say right now, in my opinion, this story, I really don't know what to think about it. It's just, I want to say an average story, because it wasn't really good. It was average. It wasn't really that bad, but it wasn't really that good. It's not like Uncharted 4, Last of Us, those type of games. But it is not like, I'm trying to compare which game that has bad dialogues and all that stuff. Man, there's a lot of games that literally, I really don't know. All the other bad games basically. So this story it's average, but it really gives you intrigue, because it's just, you feel the pain. Like once you start playing the game and all that stuff, and you go through the story, you feel like this is humanity's last stand. Like you're the only thing left. You're the only thing left of humanity. It's basically survival to the fittest. It's basically you going all out. You going to save everybody, and I like that it makes you like you're the only one that can stop all of this. Nobody else cannot do it, because everybody's light is taken away. You're the only one which has the light. Which, to be honest, it pissed me off a little bit to get our light early, because then the sense of death, like if you die, you're basically dead forever, basically disappears, because now you got your light back. And that's sort of bad in my opinion, because literally I would have preferred like put like 5 missions or 10, like 5 missions later, and then get your light back. But no, it's just straight out the bat, you get your light back like 2 missions later. You get your life back, which, to be honest, it was, in my opinion, it was a bad idea, because then that sense of, like I said, that sense of death is gone, and the sense of literally, like, how would you call it? It's just, I'm trying to think of words and they're not coming out of my mouth. I have them in my head, but they're not coming out of my mouth. It's just the sense of death and the sense of urgency and all that stuff. It's gone. It's just, it disappeared. And then once I played the campaign, I'm like, okay, I'm the only one with light. Basically, I know how it feels. Like you're the only one with light and all that stuff. But to be honest, since I got my light back, couldn't we just bring Zavala, Cayde, and Ikora to that traveler's shard and basically get their lights back? Because to be honest, I would have preferred being a one-man army, but when you're up against a huge fleet like the Cabal, the Red Legion, all that stuff. I need more backup, to be honest. So yeah, and then the villain. Oh ho ho, the villain, Gary, aka Dominus Gore. Let me tell you that his voice acting was fan-freaking-tastic. Gary was a good villain. Like, his motives were reasonable. It's like to be honest, he was lost because he's like, oh, why did I deserve the light and all that stuff, and you guys deserve the light. Like, he has a motive, he has a reason why to take that off of us, and then basically left us for dead. So that I like Gary. Gary's like one of my favorite villains, literally, of all, to be honest, of all time. Even though his, spoiler alert, his last fight wasn't really like the last mission in the game, which basically you fight him, wasn't basically the best in my opinion of all boss fights. I preferred him, to be honest. Some people are divided because they prefer him to be like a raid boss, but at the same time some people were fine with him being the final boss in the mission. To be honest, I'm in the side that he should have been the final boss of the mission, because Gary's like an exclusive campaign villain, not a, how'd you call it, not a raid villain. It's just not like Oryx. Oryx had a reason though. If you play Destiny 1 The Taken King, you understand why Oryx had a reason to basically be in the raid, because you killed his normal form and then he just turns into a Taken. He basically turns into his minions, and then you have to go to the raid and defeat him. He has a purpose. But Gary, he's more of that villain, that campaignish villain, like Voss. Why am I even making this comparison? Voss is like a villain. It's like 100 times better villain than him, to be honest. And Voss is like my favorite villain of all time. It's just Voss was mental. If you guys ever play Far Cry 3, you know who I'm talking about. Voss is just a maniac. But if you never played Far Cry 3, I think it's backwards compatible on Xbox One. Give it a try. Trust me, Far Cry 3, that game is amazing. I really like it. I wish I could review the game and all that stuff, but that's already back in the past. It's just, if I was starting YouTube back then, I would have rated that game. I would have given it like a 9 out of 10, because that game is just amazing. But if you ever had the chance to play Far Cry 3, do it. That game's amazing. Anyways, let's stop with the comparison and all that stuff and keep on continuing. Well, basically, like I said, Gary should have been more of a Gary should be, well, he is the final boss in the campaign. It's more understandable to be in the raid boss. So let me conclude that. That's my final opinion about him. Disagree or agree, whatever. It's my personal opinion on the game. Alright. Let me talk about the subclasses. Arcstrider. Let me talk about Arcstrider, Sentinel, and Dawnblade. To be honest, I haven't even touched Dawnblade yet. But my clanmates tell me that Dawnblade is good, but it's just it runs out way too fast, which may be a little bit of an issue, because Sentinel and Arcstrider, like, they blast more, to be honest. And Dawnblade looks amazing, but it's just, I really don't know. But Sentinel and Arcstrider, I like the fact that they revamped the subclasses. They revamped it. Like, if you play Destiny 1, you know which subclasses I'm talking about. Blade Dancer, Defender, and Sunsinger. I think it was Sunsinger. Yeah, Sunsinger. I like the fact that they revamped it, that they took off a lot of stuff that which made it OP back then, and I do have to admit, I like the game's balance. The game doesn't have there's nothing that's game breaking in this game, like nothing. If you guys play Destiny 1, I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna refer to Destiny 1 a lot in this video. If you play Destiny 1, everybody remembers that one gun that just melted everybody. The G-Horn. The good old G-Horn. And yeah, everybody remembers it because it was a game-breaking gun. But in this game, there's no game-breaking gun, because for a few reasons. Number one, Bungie, I applaud you guys because literally now this game it has a more it's more dependent on kinetic, like our guns are they're more, the game is like dependent more on our guns than our abilities, and I really like that. It's a different change. I know some Destiny 1 players, hardcore veterans, are gonna be like, well, I prefer Destiny 1 because you can use your super and all that stuff. I didn't. If you played Destiny 1, if you played Trials of Osiris back then, if you even played PvP Iron Banner, it was breaking, to be honest. It was game breaking. Like every single subclass was game breaking. Night Stalker with the Quibir, the self res, the Striker Fist of Havocs with an unbelievable range. It's just, I like it that Bungie, you did a good job. You literally balanced the game out. I like the game how it's balanced right now. It's more gun focused. And once you get your supers and your abilities, they are so helpful. But the thing is that you can only use them once, and then they're gonna recharge for a good while. So it makes like to use a super precisely and everything. You have to literally think through it. Instead of Destiny 1, the Destiny 1 you could just go Johnny Rambo, and then just 10 minutes or 5 minutes later, no, not even that, like 3 minutes later you already have your super back, or seconds later your super back thanks to generating orbs of light. No, in this game, not this game. The urgency to literally have your super and then use it wisely, it's a thumbs up for me. It's just I really like what they did with that, because now the game feels more better. It feels like smoothly. The flow is going by smoothly. Like it. To be honest, they added some. Well, Destiny 1 has some Call of Duty elements, but this game they added even more Call of Duty elements. Elements. Even they even added Overwatch elements. To be honest. Literally, if you play PvP competitive, if you play like Countdown, I think it is. Countdown literally feels like Overwatch. It feels like Overwatch 2.0, but a little bit more jacked up with more abilities and all that stuff. And I really like that they're mixing both worlds. They're mixing more games and all. They're mixing more games with this game, and it is so beneficial. It's just I really, really, really like this game. And it's just the improvements, man. They made a lot of improvements. Anyway, enough about the story. Let's talk about my favorite game mode, and personally the game mode that I crave for every single time, PvP. I'm telling you right now, and I'm gonna say it, I am a PvP nerd. I love PvP. It's just PvP is where I belong. Literally, I feel like that's where I belong. I like fighting against people. I like the intense gun to gun. I like going at it with other people with supers and all that stuff. But it's just really good, and it's just I like it. And plus, like I was saying, the balancing that they did. It makes PvP even better than Destiny 1. It feels so well. It feels right at home. Literally, right? Destiny 1 should have been like this since the beginning. It's just, it feels right at home. Like it concentrated more on the guns. No more. You don't have to worry that much about supers and all that stuff. And it's just, I like it. And also, another nice addition is the 4v4. I love the 4v4 edition, because literally now, since all the game modes are 4v4, which I'm fine with, many people disagree with it because they like the 6v6 and all that stuff. But come on, to be honest, 6v6, it will get way too chaotic. 3v3 Shadows of Osiris, it was fine. Like I liked it, but it missed that one more person just to save us. It missed it. In my opinion, it did. So for some people, it didn't. For my opinion, it did. It missed that one person, and I like the fact that every single game was 4v4, and it's just it balanced the game. It balanced the game out so right. It doesn't get chaotic. It's so, and it's just, and also like I said, And like I said about the Overwatch features, they also added the defeat. It's not over kills anymore. You see the defeat and all that stuff. It's basically like Overwatch. You basically shoot the guy and it will count, and then if the other guy kills it, it will count you as an elimination and elimination to that guy. They basically took that system and put it to Destiny 2, which I really like. So that means for people that are toxic, alright, toxic people, please don't go at me, but for the people that are toxic, they can stop bragging about it now, because now people are gonna have equal defeats, like us. Example, it's just this game is huge improvement, but I do have to admit there's some flaws in this game. Like example, the repetitiveness. Alright, here's a little thing about the repetitiveness. The grinding has gotten down from Destiny 1, because Destiny 1 used to be a huge grind fest. The game was unbelievably grindy as heck. It's just literally, for me to get a 400 max level in Destiny 1, it took me forever to get a 400, and the game only had like 5 months of lifespan left in it. So basically, I got to 400 at the worst time possible, which literally should have done it earlier, to be honest. But still, and also, even though I'm not showing it right now, but the public, no, not the public events. They're actually an improvement for Destiny 1, because public events now are more common and all that stuff. But it's just the repetitiveness of the public events. Like, even though they will switch up sometimes, but still, if you grind out public events like I did, and you sometimes go to the same one that you just did like a couple of hours ago, then you're like, I just did this one. Why am I doing this one? Let me do another one. It's just literally, this is a repetitiveness. The repetitiveness of doing the same public event, it gets a little bit tired, to be honest. And also, some of the bosses are reskins, to be honest. It's just like example, in the mission loop, I think it was, where you go to Nessus and basically you gotta go save Cade. Spoilers for people who haven't watched my playthrough series yet. You have to fight like a gate lord. And let me tell you, that gate lord felt like the Destiny 1 gate lord, but a little bit more harder to kill. A little bit more harder to kill. Yeah, a little bit more harder to kill than Destiny 1. But still, I feel like, haven't I fought this guy before? And then the captains are still the same thing. Like, my question is, have I fought him with these guys before? But this is weird. It's just, to be honest, it's really weird seeing those guys again. I thought they were about to put like new, more dynamic things, like example, not a shank, put like a dang up monster, but a monster so strong that a Cabal monster that's so strong that literally will take a lot of bullets to kill and all that stuff. Make it like a little bit more dynamic. If they ever make a Destiny 3, one of the things I really want them to do is just the bosses just add more enemies to the cycle, because now I'm gonna do a little bit of Halo and Destiny comparison. Halo on the other hand has different bosses and all that stuff. Even though Halo 5, the Warden thing about the story mission about killing the Warden and all that stuff was repetitive and was basically a dumb idea from 343 Industries, but still, back in the old Halos, the bosses were like diverse. They were different. And in this game, there's, to be honest, there's just a reskin from it. That's the only thing. And also, let me think. And also, to be honest, I feel like the Vex, the Falling, and the Taken have no business to be in this game. I don't know why. I have that urgent feeling like, why are these guys doing here? I thought this game was mainly based about the Cabal, because I really thought the game was mainly based about the Cabal. I thought we were going all out war against the Cabal. But no, they added the Fallen on the stuff back again, which is fine. I like more enemies. Instead of fighting the same enemies, it will get even more repetitive, to be honest. You fight different enemies, but it's just still though. I thought it was supposed to be more concentrated on the Cabal, which it was. It was more concentrated on the Cabal, but it had its side tracks on concentrating on the Hive, the Vex, the Fallen, and then it basically took the spotlight from the Cabal. So it's just that, and also I think I got nothing else to criticize. Like literally, this game is all around good. That's all the criticizing I get right now. To be honest, I'm gonna do my final verdict right now. Here we go, the final verdict. The final verdict for Destiny 2 is many people will actually get mad at me for giving this game this rating, but some people, if you guys understand me, some people will understand my point, but some of you won't. Just please, my personal opinion, saying it again, I'm gonna give this game a 7.5 out of 10. It's a solid game. It's a really good game. I really like this game. I'm gonna keep playing it. I put like 3 days into it. I put like more than 100 hours on that stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and see ya guys.